good? This is Cruz. Welcome to Hidden Hands. It's got my homie Travis with me.
Let's go.
And today we have a really special guest to kick this off. One of the homies I just met recently, actually, from APG, my man Rique.
Let's go, let's go.
It's good, man. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you for having me,
Definitely.
bro. Likewise.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So we know a little bit of history. I want you to kind of tell your story, how you got in the game, and where you're at now, what your role is.
Let's take it all the way back. I'm from the Bronx, right? So, the birthplace of hip-hop. So, like a hip-hop baby, born into it. And the kids in my family, like my pops had a record store around the corner, like a block away. And they gave the kids the basement, so we were recording shit. You know what I mean? And I just always had that love from, like, Great Adventures to Slick Rick down. You know what I'm saying? When I got older, like junior high, started like recording and rapping and shit like that. Had a little bumps in the road, with the prison and shit like that. And by the time when I came home, niggas were like, "Yo, you gotta rap, like, So I got with I don't know if you're familiar with Remo the Hitmaker. He did like some joints for like French Chris Brown and shit. He took a liking to me. I was working with him, and then I met a guy that was working at Republic and Cash Money at the time, K-Ball Brown. And he was developing some artists, and we was doing a campaign for a record, but I never wanted to be a rapper. Like I just felt like I was always better in the room when I'm helping people.
Yeah.
So it just turned to me like developing artists that he had and shit. And during the process, he was like, "Yo, I got this job with APG in LA. You should move to LA with me, bro." And I'm like, "I ain't gonna move, but let me meet the people and see what's up." So he introduced me to a guy named Josh Levine.
Okay.
He was like HR at the time. And he introduced me to Jeff Vaughn. You know Jeff, right?
Yeah.
Jeff took a liking to me and he started grooming me. I say and I was going to Full Sail at the time.
Okay. Yeah, I graduated Full Sail.
Fire.
That's what's
Fire
up.
alumni. So I say like by the second month, I had a consultancy with APG and we was rocking and rolling from there. COVID hit a couple months later. But I signed the artist at the time. Once COVID hit, like everything just got fucked up. Then we was going through the transition from Atlantic just to go all the way indie.
Right.
You know what I mean? Once I got there, when I moved to LA, and I signed Cody off top. A couple months later, signed Anti, and then this is where we at now.
That's crazy. So he's talking about Anti the Menace, who got a lot of
motion.
A lot of motion. So
that's that new Atlanta, you heard?
That's that sound.
Yeah.
That's that sound. We did some work together through my producer
For sure.
and my homies.
For sure.
We
Friola.
did the Friola record.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that
Right.
was the first time I really tapped in with Rique. And it was like one of those things, it's like somebody you already knew. And as you telling your story, I kind of understand it. Because I've been in the Bronx probably the last 10 years.
Right.
So I've been uptown. And one thing you told me off camera was just to get back to some of your history, because I came up through the Rock Nation family, right?
Right.
You got ties some kind of way.
Right.
You want to get into
So
that?
when I was rapping, I did a joint. It was on Appetizer 7 with Oskino, and we sampled
How did that come about?
it was a record that I had, and I don't know how it got to him, but he was like, "Yo, I want this record." I'm like, "No, you can't have it, but you could get on it."
Gotcha.
And it ended up on his project.
Hard. That's hard.
Yeah.
So at Hidden Hands, we called it Hidden Hands because we want to talk about things that people can't see that help people along their journey
Right.
up to success, right?
Right on.
So I noticed you said that your father had a record store.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit more about that and how
sure.
that impacted you?
My background, like they West Indian. They from Jamaica and shit, right? And they got these things called sounds. You know what a sound is, right? So they had a sound that was called King Jammies. So that was the name of the record shop on 227 East Bronx, right? And it was just a spot for the kids. But I can remember being like 4 or 5, going there, stealing records and bringing it back home and shit like that. I remember I stole Illmatic from there when it first came out. You know what I'm saying?
So you had access to music that
always.
a lot of people didn't have access to at the time.
Always.
So that was a kind of a hidden advantage
Yep.
that you had throughout your
Nah,
career.
I really feel like a real deal hip hop baby. Like I was born, it's music always been a part of my life.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Always.
Gotcha.
They used to
Okay.
record me like recording on tapes when I was like 4 and shit.
Gotcha. That's hard.
That's crazy. And then, and music now is actually kind of translating into your family, because you were talking about some of the best A&Rs as our youngins, right?
The kids.
My
My son, actually, he's the one that showed me Anti first.
That's crazy. So you're young. So you're young could take credit for one of the hottest artists out right now.
He can if he wanted to. He can.
So
That's heavy.
So not to take it back too far, but so your pops had the record store.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that you wanted to be in music at the time, or were you just a fan?
Nah, you want to know how I always knew I wanted to be in music?
How?
Because Puff he's not from our neighborhood, but he's from close by. So this is like Uptown Records days.
Mm-hmm.
And we always knew him for having like Jodeci and Mary J and working on Father MC and all that. So my thing was just always this. I had to be like in second grade. I like whatever he does is what I want to do. He's an A&R, but I ain't figured it out till later on. I used to know whatever Puff was doing is what I wanted to do.
You just knew that was
putting
something.
records together and shit. Like,
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay. Okay. See, a lot of people don't know about A&Rs and stuff at a young
Right.
age.
Right.
Me being an engineer, I didn't even know about engineering until I graduated high school.
Right.
I was just making beats and producing and stuff, and then I found out, oh, there's another aspect to the
Yeah,
studio.
it's a lot. man.
So
Oh, for sure.
with
Everybody
A&R,
don't gotta be a rapper, bro.
yeah. Did you dive directly into music at that age, or?
Yeah, I always recorded and shit, but I was a street kid too, so you know, I was never serious about it. Like,
So-
but I always dibble and dabble with it.
So music was one of your influences, but the streets was also. What was?
Yeah,
So how did you get influenced by the streets?
just from struggling and being poor and shit. Like, we the type of kids, we grew up in shelters and you know all of that type of shit. You know what I mean? So it's like when I see people passing judgment on people, I don't like it because you never know the options that certain people got to choose from. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it was one of them things where it's do or die. You got to.
Yeah. Options and influences, man. That's what my pops always told me, that life was options and influences. So
Right.
you know what I mean? Sometimes your influences around you will
Yeah.
sway you into these certain options
Yeah.
that you get to pick from.
Yeah.
So a lot of times cats go to the streets, but I mean your story is unique to me because you went to the streets, but then you also did time, you did a bid from what I seen, and then you came home, went to Full Sail, and
No,
you had
hold up. Sorry to cut you off. You know what's so crazy about Full Sail?
Yeah.
I tried going like 3 times and I got denied mad times till I met K-Bar. Yeah, I got the letter still. They was like they didn't want a criminal one amongst them their students and shit.
That's what they said?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a
But
for profit.
my boy pulled the string. My boy pulled the string and I was in there in like a week.
Mm.
The
I
same
can't believe
nigga
they
was talking
denying
about.
people
Yeah,
like it's
No,
like
hold
like
on
it's
though,
like
because
man,
this is
you know.
totally opposite. But I almost didn't go,
right,
and I had a homie kind of similar.
right,
That my struggle was the money tip, right?
Mhm.
So like we was trying to get the bread up to be able to go,
right,
and it wasn't looking good, and I ain't had nobody to lean on to put up the rest.
right.
So my man, he's a smooth talker. He from Brooklyn,
Mhm.
smooth talker. He talking to one of the admin people.
Yep,
I'm outside already, like, man, we out. You know what I'm saying?
right.
So I get a call like, yo, where you at? I'm like, I'm out here, bro. What we doing, man? We out, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm heartbroken because I'm about to follow a dream. I never really did it this
I
deep.
already know. Mhm.
Pull me right back in
Finesse.
and had her
Mhm.
open.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we met some top people, whatever, just from his way with words and stuff
Right.
like that.
Right.
So it's real critical to have them type of people around that's like, look, I see what the vision is, and we're not gonna take no for an answer.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
That's how I was on it, bro.
Crazy.
I always get like I'm the type of nigga I always get no's, but I just don't take it for an answer, bro.
I
Like,
was just
you know,
thinking that,
I'm
man.
determined
Everything,
like that, like,
everything I've done that's been worth doing in my life
Mhm.
has denied me the first time.
Yeah.
Even my wife.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
See?
It's just it's been, you got to go back for a second time. You know what I mean?
Man.
You got to do it.
I'm trying to tell you, and that lead to where we at right now. Because
Right,
you could have just been like, man, they ain't trying to fuck with me, and then some shit could have happened. You might have fell back on something else or whatever the case, but you were determined and you had the right support system and the right people in your life.
sure.
You know what I mean? That
For
led to
sure.
your success story and,
sure,
and
bro.
led for us to meet and be able to
Yeah,
rock
nah,
out.
listen,
and,
that shit led me to so much. Sometimes I look at my contacts on my phone, bro, and can't believe that.
yeah.
Even like with Mike, Mike Karen,
Yep.
I could remember being on my bunk in prison reading an article. I think it was like in the Source, and it was him and Flo Rida, bro. Fast forward a couple years later, like, talk to this man every fucking day, like.
What's like? I wanted to ask you about some of this, right? Because you got some legendary OGs that you came up in the game with.
Yeah.
What's like some of the things that you learned that stick to you to this day from whether it be from Jeff or Mike?
Jeff and Mike,
Yeah.
we all branches from the same tree, so the lessons are like the same, right?
Yeah.
And the first one that always sticks out is like, yo, be over communicate. right? And there's no such thing as a dumb question.
Right.
You feel me? So we just share a lot of information. Like is the key. You know what I'm saying?
I love that.
Yeah.
Because I think that's really,
We
that's
just
kind of the
build
signs of a
sharing
true
culture,
leader.
Like, yeah.
You know what I mean? He not making you feel like you want to shy away from a conversation that could lead to something dope for his business. You know what I'm
Never.
saying?
So when you went up the road, did you know you were gonna do music? Were you rapping at the time, or?
When I was up the road, yeah, I used to write all the time, right? But mind you, I still never wanted to be a rapper. Like in my mind, I'm like, yo, some way, somehow, I'm gonna be like a songwriter and write for people.
Yeah, but you ain't want to be in the front.
Nah.
That ain't your personality.
I don't. Yeah, it's not my personality. I don't like attention, you know. And then you gotta remember, like I come from that era where you don't take pictures, none of that type of shit. Cause we playing at a certain level, like you know.
Yeah.
Respect
Okay.
it.
So how did you find out about A&R and how did you learn about that?
As I got older, I knew what A&R was when I was like in 9th grade and shit like that.
Okay.
You know?
Okay. So
I always read. I always had to get got subscriptions to the magazine, so I knew who was who and who all the players was, and I studied them.
But did you know you were going to be an A&R?
I always believed that. Even on the days when I didn't think it was possible, I always believed it.
Gotcha.
Some way, somehow, bro.
Gotcha.
Like I willed myself into it. Like when I was rapping, I willed myself around people like Remo or KB and them, and in order to meet the people that I needed to meet, and it always led me to, you know, cause I know I was musically inclined. I had the gift. And it was just getting around the right people.
And when you got out, you hit the ground running, or you had to build up inspo?
Nah, when I got out, I started back hustling like 5-6 months, and then that shit went out the window.
Yeah.
Right. But then little things would happen, and it's like God would here show me like, yo, you're not taking heed to what I'm trying to show you, and he'll take somebody away. You know, like somebody that's instrumental in my life at the time. A nigga die or some shit, and we might have been getting real money together. And now there's no plug.
Yeah.
So now it led back to doing nothing but all you could do is rap.
Yeah.
And I had one homie, my nigga JD. We used to knock my window 6 every morning, like, yo, we going to the studio. I pay for the timing already, like,
Yeah.
so like, all right, fucking, I'm gonna go. And then one thing just led to another.
And he was getting you to rap in the studio.
Yeah.
How'd you transition from rap to A&R in that time period?
In that time period, like I was saying earlier, when I met KB, and he used to have these kids around, or I just be around other artists in the studio, and I'm the type of person, when I'm in the studio, I hop around from room to room, see if I could help or just see what's going on. Cause I'm one of the people like, you're gonna let me in the room. You know what I'm saying? And I just start helping people, and I realized like, yo, this shit is better than my shit. It's easier for me to work for somebody else than myself. You know what I'm saying? And so from there, I was like, oh yeah. Me and KB got cool. I'm like, yo, bro, I need a favor. Write me a letter of recommendation for Full Sail. Let's try this. And then that's how it happened.
So you had to have a letter of recommendation for Full Sail.
Yeah, they let me in.
So they was on their Harvard.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie, but that's love that you had somebody to support that, because, like I said, it could have been, it just could have went another way.
Coalition,
you know what
bro.
I mean?
Wow.
If I ain't get in, right, I don't know how to do nothing else. I was gonna be a hustler for the rest of my life. So I got a long bid or somebody bust my head or something like that. Like that's just my mindset.
Crazy.
Do you feel like you being a hustler and having the street background and also having the record background, do you see a correlation with being in the music industry now?
Of course.
With the streets and
everything
business?
I do, all I do is apply everything that I learned in the streets, but in a music way. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like even with the artists, like, so my artists, they'll fuck with me in a certain type of way because we talk the same language and they know I'm them. You know what I'm saying? We the same. We come from the same shit.
Yeah, you definitely got an advantage.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot of squares. Yeah. Let's be honest.
For sure.
They don't know the culture.
For sure, and it's no knock on them, but it's just a little different. Like, you know?
Exactly. You talking the same language. You know what I'm saying? They
because I see a lot of the managers, A&Rs that I see excel in the music industry. A lot of them come from the streets.
Lifestyle.
Yeah, a lot of them have done a bid or sat down for some time. You know what I mean? To really get this.
Even if they didn't sit down to it, just growing up around, like it's some niggas that street, but they not street. If that makes sense, you know what I mean? Like they just grew up around it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So the instincts is there.
Yeah.
They got that swag.
Yeah.
So it's different, bro. You want to be, it's people you want to be around that you feel comfortable around. Like, you know, I've always been around people that just protected me coming up.
Right.
I never had to be in that type of lifestyle, but I had protectors at all times. And like, they still gave me that different swag. Like, I'm Spanish, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, you know, the people that was protecting me coming up in school and, you know what I mean?
It was
like
the
all these
guys.
different places. Yeah.
That's
like,
how it would be.
and it's a swag that you get that it's like, you know, you can't train people to be like that. You know
Nah,
what I
you
mean?
can't.
Like
You
they got to
can't.
come up in that environment and,
Yeah.
and
You know, we could spot it a mile away. Like
Yeah.
I know when somebody authentic and when they not. Like,
right,
you know?
right. That's real.
So with you being denied from Full Sail, 3 times was it?
Yeah. Yeah.
How did it feel when they came back and you did an
When
interview
I
with
got
them?
through, oh,
At this point, you know, you did an interview and stuff like that. Like, how did that feel?
it was for me. It was just
Full
it was like
circle
it was
moment?
like a full circle moment for sure.
Yeah.
Like a breakthrough. You know what I'm saying?
And
But overdue though, cause like
Yeah.
I don't like to live. I don't like regrets and shit like that, right? But sometimes I think like, what if they would have let me in first time around? I would have been here a long time ago, and I'd had so much shit under my belt.
Right.
Okay,
You know what
That's
I'm saying?
real.
Because how many years was it in between them not letting you in?
When I was 18, it was the first time I tried to get in, right? And the reason why, because I caught my first charge when I was 17, right? And my brother made me get my GED to make it look good when I go to court. And I saw you could get in with your GED, right? So I tried. They turned me down. Tried again when I was like 21. Tried again when I first came home. I was 26 when I came home. That was the third time. And then when I got in, I was already in my 30s, bro. And you know the ill part about it? I graduated valedictorian.
That's hard.
You know what I'm saying?
That's hard. I salute that, man.
Yeah.
Because that's persistence to the T, bro. Like,
Yeah.
a lot of people are, like, they think this shit come on a silver platter, bro.
Nah,
you know what I
hell
mean? And,
no.
like, you could have easily gave up
Blood,
a
sweat,
long
and
time
tears
ago.
winning this, you heard?
Come on, man.
Literally.
Exactly. So it's a different motivation.
Now, in like I mentioned earlier, you did a interview with Full Sail.
Mm-hmm.
In your interview with Full Sail, you spoke about emotional intelligence
Yeah.
and having a high level of emotional intelligence,
Yeah.
and you seem like the kind of guy that has a high level of emotional
Mm-hmm.
intelligence. So, what do you think gave you that in life? Like, where did you get that from?
Hardships. And I learned that like later on, like a few years ago, literally like maybe like 3, 4. Cause you know, like when you come up like people like me, like life is not kind to you. So all you know is like hard shit. You feel me? So a lot of times, like without realizing, I never really cared about other people's feelings type shit. You know what I'm saying? And over time, it took for women to teach me that. But then just applying in all areas, you know?
Yeah, same with me. I was raised by all men.
Yeah.
So you got a certain hardship around you,
Yeah.
and it's like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So definitely, that was very interesting to me when you spoke about emotional intelligence, because to me that's a big part of music. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it's
And a
part
big
of
part
life.
yeah,
For sure.
yeah, making that connection with the fans and the
Yeah.
people, and even just in a small room, making that connection. You know, so
So what I want to get into now is I feel like you've kind of brushed on it as we've been talking, but really tell like your rock bottom story. Like we want to get into like really like that moment
when
where
you was at your lowest,
your
Alright.
lowest to lowest, right?
Alright.
And how you broke out and like
Alright.
what motivates you and inspire you to get out of that.
All right.
You know what I mean?
It was the bid. You know what I'm saying? It's just the whole way it went down. I don't want to get all the way into specifics, but I'm gonna go as deep as I can. You know what I'm saying? So when I was in the county jail probably like 4 or 5 months, but the charge, it was a punishable by life charge. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going back and forth to court. Nobody come. You know, when you go to that courtroom and you turn around and you hoping to see a familiar face, there's not one there. And a nigga like me, like I took care of so many people. I did a lot of good for people. Nobody showed up for me, right? I'm trying to send letters to people, like, because if I could sway things in my favor a little bit, if somebody would do 1 or 2 things for me, like, it didn't have to go down like that. So I'm stuck in a situation where I can't fight it from outside. No bond. And by the time I got a bond, they wanted like $250 or something crazy, like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, all right, fuck it, I'm gonna just fight it, you know? So now, this is when I knew they didn't have nothing, but I didn't want to go to trial. You know, because an okie doke could easily occur.
Yeah.
Man, you just be stuck. The first offer was 36, so I would have got that if I had a blue child, right? So going to court that morning, they's like, yo, if you don't take this plea, we going to trial. So I say, what's the plea? They say 7 years. So I'm like, you know what? Could we split it up? You feel me? So we get 2 in, 5 out. And they was like, all right, cool. When they said it so quick, I'm like, maybe I could beat it. But I'm like, fuck it, let me just get it. I'm tired of the county jail and shit. But I literally did that whole bid by myself. Like, And that it was so hurtful, bro, just 'cause I know what I did for people. Niggas wasn't sending no money. Niggas wasn't looking out for my kids. No nothing, bro. You heard? So, but I was already strong, but it made me way more stronger. Like,
Yeah.
so with certain people, they be like, yo, you act like you don't need nobody. I really don't.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? All I need is to love my kids at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like, and another low in that, they brought my kids to see me one time towards the end. And my son, he was probably like 3 or 4. He gonna be 18 in a couple weeks, right? But I remember when they was taking me back, he didn't understand what was going on. He trying to fight the guards. I'm gonna stay with my dad and all that crazy shit. I'm like, oh man, never bring them back. Like, you feel me?
Crazy.
But all those things, it builds character. You know what I'm saying? I try my best not to never put myself in any of those positions again, and I haven't been back ever since. Last week just made my 13th year that I've been free. No mishaps.
Clap it up for
You know what
that.
I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely, man.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
And so what was your mind frame like when you got out and you like, all right, I get a second chance to this shit? Like what was your mentality like?
I was real chill and relaxed because I had bread put up. You feel me? So I had to jump right back out there. And then after a while, like real life started kicking back in. Like bread started getting low, and it got low because people was pinching on it while I was gone. You know what I'm saying? So I tried to go to another school, and the deadline came and financial aid didn't come through. So I'm like, yo, send me they were like $2,500 or something late, and they didn't have it. I'm like, so whoa, I'm thinking I got almost like 100 put up somewhere and nothing is there.
Like, where my bread at?
Right. So now that's when I start back hustling and shit like that. But in my mind, like I knew like this wasn't the end all. Like some way, somehow I'm getting in the industry. That's the one thing that separates me from most. That niggas with jail talk. Nah, me, I stand on it and I do what I say I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
Well, at least I'm gonna die trying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely.
That's
So with that being the lowest,
Mm-hmm.
what's the opposite of that? Where did you what came and you realized like, oh shit, I'm here.
The first time I spoke to Jeff.
Okay. Okay.
Word up.
Okay.
That's when I knew
Shout
I
out
was
to
doing
Jeff.
something right.
Yeah.
You feel me? Shout out Jeff Vaughn for sure. And then the first time I went to LA to meet them, and then I met Mike. I'm like, oh, this nigga's real. So Mike, you know what I'm saying?
That's what's up.
Remember, I told you I just remember him from the magazine and knowing records that he worked on.
Yeah.
Mike was a producer and shit too.
Right.
You feel me? So that's when I knew it was real.
Yeah, it's crazy because Mike gets a lot of what I notice in my come up, like before you really get into the business, you hear people's stories and you don't really understand like where the feedback come from, but it's a lot of like you either love that guy or you hate him. And there's a lot of people that have a lot of
That's
criticism.
what most men in business.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
A lot of successful
for sure.
people, right?
For sure.
So he get a lot of criticism about certain practices and things like that. But what did you learn like when you actually got to know him, like knowing that feedback from people and what people be saying?
It's
and all
not
that?
accurate.
Okay.
And the thing that nobody knows, everybody doubles back some way, somehow, and they work with them. So in the end, it's like it was bullshit to begin with. Maybe it was a misunderstanding.
Yeah. But you know what it is sometimes though? Because I've run into this a lot in the industry. It's a lot of people will say that it's hard to work with somebody when the person is extremely good at what they do.
He's meticulous in what he does too.
You know what I mean?
Like a
Like-
real deal perfectionist.
Yeah. Because people used to tell
Science
me
to
that about
everything,
certain
man.
people that I've worked with in the past. You know what I mean? And when I worked with them, I would be on the same page, so we would get along great. But when somebody comes in playing around or somebody's not as serious,
Yeah.
then they have the problems.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
sure.
But if you're on the same page and you really trying to get to the same goal, it don't really make it hard
Yeah,
to work
nah,
with
listen,
anybody.
we in the business of making history every day we wake up, all of us. You feel
Yeah.
me? So there's no time for the bullshit. Like,
Right.
yeah. There's zero tolerance. And
Yeah.
that's the type of person that he is, the type of person I am. Show you like that. So,
yeah.
you know?
Yeah, I got a lot more respect as I get into the business and see kind of how people are. I'm like, man, I respect them type of people more because I understand you got to stand on something. You know what I mean?
Have to.
Because
Have
if you halfway and you want everybody to love you, you're gonna be broke.
I don't fuck with people like that, bro. I really don't.
Yeah,
Nah.
you're gonna be broke. You're gonna be complaining all the time. You're gonna be one of them salty OGs that talk about their heyday and they got no other wins after that because they basically, you know,
They live off of shoulda, coulda, wouldas. Bro.
yeah, exactly.
Nah.
And it's like a certain level of like, these people are monsters, bro. This is why I love somebody like a Jordan. Like, I don't even get into that whole debate, but it's like that fear that people had, like, you can't deny his legend. And them people that had that fear is because that dude was so over prepared for his shit, and the time and the energy he put into becoming Michael Jordan.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you gotta love it. You gotta respect
Same thing with Kobe.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Mamba mentality.
That whole
That's what I live by, that Mamba mentality, man.
Yeah.
Try to, at least.
I want to get so we got this segment called Get My Lawyer on the Phone.
Right.
I'm about to call my man, and we're gonna just go over a topic basically about samplers, like loop makers.
Okay.
Like back in the day, it was session musicians.
Right.
They had a contract, you gave them a couple dollars, and you know,
Yeah.
but now it's people that are doing technically the same thing, and now they're pub royalty conversation.
Right.
So I want to get him on the phone to go over
Right.
the situation.
All right.
So I'm about to call him.
Let's do it.
All right, so we have the one and only Jason Berger on the phone, one of the greatest entertainment lawyers in the game. I know we got Rique Walker with us. You know, I think y'all did some. Y'all might have had some run-ins, maybe.
Maybe. How you doing, Jason?
I'm great. How are you, sir?
I'm good.
So I got Trav here as well.
Hopefully those run-ins were resolved in your favor.
Oh, 100%. You know, we always
I'm pretty sure if they. Nah, I would know for sure.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah. He ain't stopped the phone call, so it's got to be good, you know.
Yeah, I'm good with like body language. You good, Jason?
Yeah, he ain't tripping.
Definitely
Good. Okay. All right.
So this is an interesting situation. I know how I feel about it. I'm just curious on your take. There was a post on producer culture that kind of caught our attention, and the tweet was from Adam Friedman, and he said, "It's so interesting how differently session musicians are treated from sample makers, even though the end result is the exact same. In my experience, play guitar in the studio, flat fee, session musician, right? And then play guitar at home and email it is now producer with royalty and pub. What's your take on that?"
I think it depends on a variety of circumstances, and me and my team, we approach each one of those kind of with an a la carte approach, because there's usually more than meets the eye, and a lot of times it's not things like deal terms or contract terms, it's relationships that dictate how that's treated.
Exactly.
Right? Because nowadays the business is very different, where it's almost the norm that there's 2+ producers on every song, or at least initially people are put into that producer role or given that title based on some kind of contribution, right? But there's usually one relationship that allowed that placement to move forward, whether it's the relationship with the A&R, the relationship with the artist. So I feel like it's not necessarily always fair in terms of those kinds of contributions to treat everybody equally. Because there's things that are beyond the contribution itself from a sonic or even breaking it down further from a copyright perspective that could dictate a different split, could dictate who gets what, and ultimately, like Adam said, how those folks who contribute with instrumentation are treated, right? So I think that's the best answer I could give without a specific set of facts. And even taking that a little bit further, it also may depend on the relationship amongst the folks who are initially tagged as producers. Because I know a lot of guys that, especially once they get to reach a certain status, that they have a number of kids all over the world sending them something. It may be a loop, it may be a full beat, it could be whatever. And they have an understanding amongst themselves where if the bigger producer utilizes that sound, incorporates it into the production, and there's a placement, there's set terms that loop maker or that beat maker sending those sounds to the bigger producer can expect from that piece of the relationship. So sometimes it's not even dictated by the relationship between the artist or the label and the main producer. It could be based on relationships amongst the folks who contributed. Right. So I feel like without getting too far into copyright law and what's protected, which is a whole discussion in and of itself. You know, we can talk 30, 40 an hour on just that issue.
Yeah.
But the reason that the reason that it's treated that way is typically based on who's directing the production.
Right.
When I think of a session musician, I'm thinking somebody like you in the studio and is bringing guys in, and you're basically directing them what to play.
Right.
That's why traditionally and historically, those folks have been paid a fee under a work for hire scenario because they're not writing music.
Right.
You guys are writing the music. You're asking and dictating how they play their instrument to bring out what you want in the production, but it's not songwriting, thus it's not copyright ownership.
Exactly.
So that historically has been compensated via a fee, and since there's no ownership of the master and there's no ownership of the composition, that contributor is typically not afforded a royalty, and they're not afforded a piece of the publishing, which are based on ownership, at least in part, of those two separate copyrights.
Got you. And perfect example. I don't know if you remember, I had hired a choir for that. It didn't come out, but it came from the bottom record.
Yeah.
And paid the fee and everything, but it was based on what we had already built, right? So they were singing along with the melody that was already created, and we're just enhancing what we already created. Like you said, like we wrote the music already. You know what I mean?
But there's also opposite examples as well, because there's been sessions I've been in where I've brought a guitar player in, told him what to play and everything. But in order for us to still use the record, we still had to give him publishing and give him points. You know what I mean? So it could go both ways. It just depends on, you know.
Every situation is different, bro.
Yeah.
I would think too, just to close the loop on, I guess pun intended, right? To close the loop on the other situation that Adam brought out in his tweet.
Yeah.
Where a kid plays those sounds, puts something together, and then emails it to another producer, and they collaborate on a final product.
Yeah.
That's not being dictated what to play, when to play, and how to play it. That person in their room, right, is writing the music and sending some portions or all portions of that to other folks to collaborate on. Yeah, but they wrote the music, you understand? Yeah. It's not like a session musician coming in. So I would, I think, tend to disagree a bit with Adam's position that those two categories of contributors should be treated the same.
Right.
Because I think I've now highlighted the differences, at least from my opinion, and I think that coincides with my understanding of copyright law.
No, you hit it on the head.
Point.
You know, and Trav, to pick up on your point, I think that absolutely happens on occasion. Typically, that happens when there's not an understanding in advance of that session.
Yep.
Right, and a lot of times it happens when the record's already out. Thus, that person who was a session musician pre-release feels like they have a little more leverage to get things they may not otherwise be entitled to based on how the law breaks down. And thus you may have to break off pub or royalty or both in order to clear someone's contribution that was at least intended to be brought in as a session musician.
Yeah. There it is.
Yep, definitely been in that situation, haven't we?
Let me say.
And then why don't we end the segue with a lawyer tip of the day?
Okay.
Right, based on what we've talked about and how we've brought it out is get the business done and make sure there's at least an understanding in some form of writing before people like that are engaged, or you collaborate with them.
1000%.
Yep.
That's the major key.
And that can be difficult at times because of how creativity works.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You could be in the moment and just, hey, call them, but I definitely agree.
Yeah. Nah, you on point.
Yeah, if possible, without a lot of times you fuck the vibe up, especially if you're in that moment of creating in the studio.
Right. You can't say, hey, let's bring out the paperwork.
You know, here's the split sheet. You know what I mean? Can I send it? You want DocuSign?
That's the classic vibe killer. Yo, so what's the splits? When we do this record together, like we ain't even write the record.
It has to kill it, you know.
So listen, you guys are better at advising the audience as to when the appropriate time may be from a creative standpoint. I just think do it at at the point where it's as practical as possible,
Right.
without fucking up the vibe or the relationships.
Right.
And listen, even as a lawyer, I'm not saying it needs to be any specific form. And this, people call me all the time and say, you know, I need a split sheet to get this. Bro, if you can't accomplish that, just get it in a text message, a DM, whatever. Just saying, hey, I agree. You know what I mean? Here's how it is. Here's what the terms are, and we agree to it.
Right.
And then even if I get pushed back when I get looped in and we actually go to formally clear whatever it is, I at least have something to hang my hat on to be able to take a position for you guys. You know what I mean?
No,
Yeah,
for
no,
sure.
I feel like
1000%.
to add to that, right? Like just as collaborators, y'all basically got some type of respect for each other.
Yeah.
So on the text, it should be easy to be like, yo, for visibility, like, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's less,
and it brings out another good point that we deal with all the time in terms of respecting people when there's not that workflow and that history where there's a comfort level and you don't even have to talk about that shit anymore. Because there's either an understanding or you guys have cleared so many things that no one was tripping about, and it all got cleared professionally. It was fair to everybody. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But there's a number of scenarios where you guys try to do business the right way, and we can't ensure people are going to be honorable. We can't ensure people are going to be professional, right? So we find ourselves in a situation a lot where we have to clear up messes where we've been brought in, or our guys have been brought into, let's say, collabs on the production side. They'll go, that one producer who may have brought our guys in, be the relationship guy, they go to clear it and don't even tell anybody that our guy was involved.
Right.
Right. And a lot of times that'll make me lose my mind because that's purely disrespectful.
Yeah.
And then a lot of times you guys will, you know, let's pump the brakes. Let's be careful because we don't want to jeopardize the opportunity. But, you know, at some point, if there was the mutual respect, the bigger producer or the relationship producer wouldn't be burning the young guys like that.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's like, I kind of have to judge, all right, I know you want to keep the relationship where it is, but they got to respect even every contributor to the point where at least do business fairly and honorably. Yeah. And we can move on to the next after that, you know, and keep the relationship where it should be.
Yeah.
So basically drop your nuts. So basically, drop your nuts and stand on it.
Hey, Jason,
you know what I mean?
No,
drop your nuts and stand on that shit. Is what you're saying, Jason.
Listen,
I'm with you. I'm with you.
You guys keep the relationship where be.
Yeah.
You tell them Jason's the bad guy. He's fucking out of control. we didn't pay his invoice last month. He's salty as shit. I can't tell you what he's gonna do and nothing. No, I love being the bad guy.
Listen, man. How many situations, bro, did we be? You know what I mean? Like we give people the benefit of the doubt, and Jason, give him. You know, it's all good.
But you know what? You know what too is very important is the longer I do this, the more I firmly believe and stand on that doing business the right way always comes back to you. And sometimes it's not the next week, it's not the next month, it's not the next year, it's not with the same group of people. Yeah. But if you do good business and you take care of people when you don't have to, and you put good karma out in the energy, I'm telling you,
1000%.
The universe will repay you, and those blessings will come back tenfold.
That's it.
I'm a huge proponent of it.
1000%, bro.
I used to always say, take care of the music, and the music will take care of you.
Right.
And essentially, that's
the
goal.
Yeah.
Great music. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
that I think it starts and ends there, right?
Yeah,
I think it has to. Everything that we're doing, especially guys like you guys. Yeah. I think high level and high quality is just the entry point. Right. Because there's so much of it. And the teams like you guys are involved in that I really see winning. There's a few characteristics that are common amongst all of them. Right. Everybody's really fucking good at what they do. Yeah. Number one, everybody who's a team member has a seat at that table, usually has a different role, but every one of them are bosses in their own right. For sure. And the other thing is I see with really successful teams, and this is mostly on the artist side, is staying 6 months ahead in terms of the master plan. If you stay 6 months ahead, you can be prepared with whatever's thrown at you. So if you have 6 months of content, records, videos done in the can, you know, marketing plays and budgets, you just need to push play on when the time's right. Some may go better than others. So you may catch fire on that third release, and thus you had a release strategy to release another record 3-4 weeks later, but you put that on pause and fuel the fire that you started with the last release. But you're always prepared for whatever's next.
Right.
And that's where I see the path, the trajectory, the development, if you will, start to increase in terms of the timing and how quickly it happens. And it's just a common thing that I see amongst the squads that are doing it. And even from a production house standpoint, you guys, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're celebrating wins and for work that you guys put in sometimes a year ago, maybe even more. You know, because the whole process is delayed a bit, and you're on to the next, and you have to be, because that's the business of being a producer is until you're really rocking and rolling for years, you can't really be guaranteed those 2 times a year royalty statements are going to amount to anything.
Right.
And you get paid a lot of times, especially pre-pub deal, on an advance here and an advance here. But that's a tough way to earn a living when you're starting to build this thing, I think. Because, you know, how do you agree to pay a mortgage on the first every month, but
I think
you may get paid every third month?
Yeah.
Or, you know what I mean? So until you catch that big deal and you put a few $100,000 in the bank that you can feel comfortable and, you know, for a year, 2 years, I got my bills paid. It's a fucking grind. And I give you guys credit for the kind of work and the time commitment it takes, because even to catch one placement, in particular your first one, is a serious endeavor. But to continue and to understand going in that there's going to be a period, even if I'm successful, I have great managers and I'm amazing and I make amazing music, it's going to be 3 to 4 years of a hard ass grind and traveling and you know, expenses before I really can start to see consistent money or big dollar amount money.
Right.
That's tough. And you know, I give everybody that we work with credit who's in that ballpark, because, you know, with the exception of having a pouty Sunday here or having an expense you can't cover there, everyone digs the fuck in and gets it done and, you know, really turns it up. So it's impressive. I'd have trouble if that was how lawyers got compensated breaking into this business. If that was it, shit.
Listen, I'm sending this straight to Canon. So, you know, I'm gonna just tell me.
Sounds like you got to be a superhero to make a living in this shit, is what you're saying.
Listen,
you got to be amazing.
Sounds like you got to be a superhero.
Come on, man. Jason knows what time it is.
But
we should wait a few weeks to send it to Canon, since I'm gonna have to lock in with him here shortly, sorting a bunch of records for the young man we've been waiting to drop for a few years.
Oh yeah.
You know, I don't want to give him too much insight into my analysis, and you know.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that.
Just kidding. Shout out Canon. Shout out Uzi.
Yeah.
Excited for this project. Shout out Adam Friedman. I think he's a great lawyer.
Yeah.
He took on one of my students and really took him under his wing, and I'm always appreciative and love seeing that, because I think the give back in what we do is extremely important.
Definitely.
It's not only important to groom the next generation, but it's important for our longevity, because there's going to become a point where we want to slow down, and if we have these young guys turned up and running around and taking the torch, whenever that time comes, I feel like that's a retirement plan in and of itself. So I'm regularly investing in young talent across the board, from creatives to executives to, you know, attorneys, to ensure that, you know, I can maybe pay my kids college tuition at some point versus just my own children. You know?
Exactly.
Yep.
You're on point, man.
Because if you leave your fate up to the music industry, you're gonna be fucked up.
Listen,
you know, you got to take it in your own hands.
Facts.
So yeah, I definitely feel you there, Jason.
Yeah, man. Listen, Jason, thank you, bro. You dropped
of course
incredible gems, man. All right, my guy, man. Thank you so much.
All
Jason.
good.
Appreciate it, bro.
Yeah, love you boys.
All right,
Yes,
love,
sir.
bro.
Be
Thank
safe,
you.
Good
bro.
one, Jason. Nice meeting you.
So, first question: you mentioned in one of your previous interviews, some of your advice to young people was to get a mentor.
Right.
I think you mentioned some of your mentors already throughout this podcast,
Right.
but who were some of your mentors, and more importantly, how would you suggest young people get a mentor?
Let me answer that one first. I feel like a mentor finds the mentee.
Mm.
You feel me? Like every time it's like I was courted.
Okay.
That's how it feels for me at least, right? And
Yeah.
my first one was K-Ball Brown. That's my man. He does marketing, and he was working at when I met him. He was working at Cash Money and Universal.
Okay.
You feel me? He's the one that brought me to APG, and then from there, Jeff. Like I had Jeff, and I had Lisa, Matt, Eli. These all people on my team. You know what I'm saying? But it's all Mike's lessons. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's like my path for mentors.
A lot of times it's hard for people to get a mentor. You know what I mean? And me personally, I think it's because, like you said, the mentor has to find them.
Yeah.
But in the time of the mentor finding you, you have to be doing something with yourself
Right.
to
For
catch
sure,
the
to stand
mentor's
out. 'Cause
attention.
it's like if I see somebody that's young and hungry, right? I might watch him for a little bit. I'll be like, yeah, I could do something with them. Like, just give them the proper nurturing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I used to have this thing I would tell people. I used to say, put cinnamon in the coffee. And the reason why I would say that is because a lot of times you're coming up. I don't know, did you intern anywhere or you jump straight?
Yeah.
Okay, so a lot of times when you intern and you're making coffee for people, and I use that as an example because putting cinnamon in the coffee can make the coffee stand out. So you never know, they might like the cinnamon, they might like the coffee that you make, and it'll strike a chord in their memory for seeing you and building with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think with mentors, right? Like 9 out of 10, they see something in the mentee. The mentor see something in the mentee that reminds them of their younger self.
Exactly.
You feel me? And that's what makes them want to.
Exactly.
So a lot of times
gravitate
it's
towards them.
carrying yourself on a journey a certain type of way.
Yeah. It's always how you conduct yourself. Like, you know what I'm saying? You just gotta have good morals and principles and all the little qualities.
Right.
You know?
And it's important because like something that that you were touching on, like it's something that you already kind of bring to the table that attract them, right?
For sure.
So like it's somebody I reached out to, I won't say any names, but a super legend. And I had reached out to him. I happened to be on my way to LA.
Right.
And I was like, yo, you know, the way that I basically like formatted presenting like a meeting opportunity with them really struck them, and you know, they set it up immediately. But there was something about what I brought to the table, my approach, but what I brought to the table, me building my brand and doing what I'm doing, that attracted them to be like, of course I'm gonna take time out my day, and they came dolo and everything. To
same way you got me, nah, for sure.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's a way that you approach it, and you help them understand, I'm taking this shit serious. I'm not trying to waste your time because time is money. So the way that, you know, you bring yourself to like, yo, I want to sit down and I want to possibly, you know, build like some sort of mentorship. It's something, it's a give and take just like anything else. And that's how I always approach anything.
For sure.
Don't matter how much of a millionaire or billionaire somebody could be, is like, what can I do for them? Because there's always something that
that's
you
how I
guys can
operate
do for
too.
each other.
Yeah.
And see the funny thing about it is, I've never had a mentor. Well, I've never had a mentor that knew they were my mentor. You see what I'm saying? I used to stalk
like that.
people.
I
I would
that.
follow them.
Right.
I would pick a person who I wanted to be my mentor and study them and follow them around the studio, see how they did, sneak in. I used to turn the lights off in the booth so you couldn't see in the booth. And while they're in there creating, I'll be sitting on the other side of the glass taking notes, writing, doing everything they're doing. And then I would go practice what they're doing. And then in reality, and one of my mentors was Tricky Stewart.
Yeah.
And we ended up talking years later, and I ended up telling him, he was like, get you a mentor. And I was like, you are my mentor. And I broke down what he does.
Right.
You know what I mean? And how I do it. And he was mind blown, like, oh, shit. You know what I mean? You really been studying me.
Right.
But so it's so many ways to get a mentor.
I like
you know
that
what I mean?
method because you're not really interrupting their process. Like, you're kind of just getting like their actual, like, this is what you're doing.
Yeah. Because a lot
I'm
of
not
it's
picking your brain and having
Yeah.
Because you know how I go. Like, when they're actually in it, like you're seeing the raw, like this is
Yeah.
really like my intuition of how
And
to
a lot of
handle
it you don't
certain
get to
things.
see.
Right.
A lot of it you being able to see it. You know what I mean? You getting able to see it will help you understand it. It goes, and that goes with everything from playing a video game to street stuff to anything. Once you see it, you're like, oh, and then you kind of in your mind like, I could do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I don't understand people that get in the rooms
Yeah.
and you hear certain types of conversations or you know, and don't make the best of it. Like you have
crazy,
to take
bro.
something from the room.
yeah,
You know
you
what
got
I'm
to.
saying?
You could tell people that's really built for success
Yeah.
and the people that's just around for the moment because, like you said, it's their approach. Like it's the same thing of like when you're communicating with somebody, you know when somebody's just ready to just give like a response, not based on what y'all have been talking about, but like, all right, I've had an idea, so I'm hearing you, but I'm not hearing you.
Right.
I'm just waiting to talk.
Right.
Them type of people.
Yeah.
Like I'm waiting. This whole moment is built around like I'm gonna ask them for a picture.
That's
So I
crazy.
like my grandma.
And
That's
and the
crazy.
reality
You understand what I'm saying?
and the reality behind it is a lot of it starts when you're younger, right? It's in you.
Yeah.
Because when I was a kid, I used to go sit in the living room with the adults and just be quiet.
Right.
And listen to them talk.
Right.
Put me up on so much game.
Right.
Had an older
Fly
brother.
on
I don't
the
know if y'all had older brothers, but I had an older brother. So he used to hang with a lot of the older neighborhood, a lot of older cats in the neighborhood.
Right.
I followed them around, doing what they doing. I'm
Right.
young, you know what I'm saying? I'm way younger, but I'm trying to do what they doing.
Right.
But when it came my time to do it, I was a little seasoned. I had
Yeah,
a
you
little
a
wisdom.
go
I had
fly
a
on the
little,
wall.
Yeah, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I had a little bit of
Yeah.
I could get past it. You know what I
Right.
mean? I could excel at it. So
Yeah, exactly.
a lot of times it's that, but you have some people who won't pay attention to nothing.
A lot of people don't know how to be a sponge for real. Like,
No. And honestly, a lot of them, they really don't care to be like, they'll act like they want to do this. It's people like, I'll speak to a room and I'll point out to people like, all right, I'm not affecting none of these people,
Yeah.
but it's cool because there's 10, 15, whatever,
Right.
that's going to take this and it's going to change their life.
Right.
I get the feedback from people years later, like, yo, I don't think you remember me, but
Right.
I was in the room, and they're doing some shit.
I get that.
You understand what I'm saying? And you be
Yep.
like, damn, I don't even.
Fuck you up a little
No,
bit.
you
huh?
reach
like,
one.
I don't remember the
You reach
kid.
one, you'll teach something.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I don't remember them. I remember the
Pac
moment
right there. Yeah, I love, that was my phrase. Yeah.
because I'll have
Teach
that,
one,
and I'll
teach
be
one.
talking to people. I might get a direct question from the person and be like, oh, they don't give a fuck what I say.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
They just wanted to ask a question in front of the people, or they knew what they wanted me to say, but as
And then
soon
you
as they
have-
felt a certain vibe, they kind of turned off already. Like, that ain't
Because
what I wanted
people,
to say.
sometimes people
Yeah, I be
prematurely
knowing.
think that they know it, and they're just trying to get a little bit because they think that they already know what they're trying to get.
right.
You don't know what you're trying to get sometimes. You just got to be open to it all and then
Right.
decipher it later. Figure out, is it for you or is it not?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you said, you was rapping. I was rapping. I think everybody.
I
have a theory that
Everybody tried to hear
every
my
homie-
every
my
young
homie
black
can put me on
male
blast
tried
if he
to
wants
rap
Yeah,
and
nah,
play
everybody tried
ball.
to hear.
You know what I'm saying? Rap and play ball, bro. Every
yeah.
young nigga, every young
Right.
you know what I mean, black kid tried to
You sling
rap
a
and
crack
play
rock
ball.
or you got a wicked jump shot.
You
Either
know
or.
what I mean? And you get there and I'm like, I tried to rap. I'm rapping. I'm like, bro, I'm talking about stuff I never cooked crack. Why am I rapping about this? But I'm listening to Jewels and Cam and stuff,
Right,
trying to
right,
be like
right,
them,
right.
not realizing, bro, you could be in and do what they do, but you ain't got to be them.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's the key.
Right.
You don't
Yeah.
gotta be them.
Right.
And that's
You don't.
that's
You
where a
don't.
lot of crews, that's where a lot of crews, no pun intended, get kind of caught
name.
up, right? Because they think they gotta be the person that they next to, right?
Yeah.
And instead of knowing like how much value you add being next to this person and like what you could do to help with that brand, whether it be something that you might think is beneath you. A lot of people think certain shit is beneath them, but bro, it's so respected. You know what I mean? Like you bringing value to a situation and you helping that situation move forward.
Yeah.
You
Being
know, whether it be
original.
you keeping the vibe right in the studio or you going and grabbing a certain thing for somebody at the store or whatever it could be.
Man, when
None
I
of this
first
shit is
started
beneath you.
interning, man, my boys used to be, man, we used to be chilling. I'm gonna go to the studio. They be like, nigga, you ain't doing shit but getting pizza. Fuck you doing, bro? Where you going, nigga? Let them niggas, them niggas just make it them do boy.
Yeah.
But I had to just keep going up there because it's like, but y'all don't see what I'm seeing.
Right.
I'm seeing, and music fucked me up because I had never seen black royalty in my face.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But in music, when you really get in this, you see black royalty. You go over people's houses, they live in mansions, black families.
Right.
Yes,
Got
sir.
everything,
Right.
kids.
Yes, sir.
What they
Right.
kids is like the kids you seen on TV that they don't know nothing about none of the stuff we done came up through.
Exactly.
Oh,
You
God.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when you get to see that real black royalty, like, bro, I go get a pizza for
real.
2
So hold on,
months.
let me ask you something. Them same niggas that was saying that, what they doing right now?
Trying to get in.
Here go.
Trying to get in.
There you
You
go.
know what I mean? Trying to double back, spin the block, and holler at me again
And
later. You know
scene.
what I mean? That's what they do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the way it goes.
That's real. That's real.
You said being an A&R,
Right?
sometimes you have to be it's like being an artist therapist.
Yeah.
Can we touch on that a little bit?
Of course. Because, like, a lot of think about it, we work with a lot of young black street kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
And their managers, they don't be seasoned all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So
Usually the
they're
managers
they're learning as they go. You feel me? So we step up and we take on a lot of that shit, right? So when they going through remember, no career, just the trajectory. Like, it's always like, you know what I'm saying? You just got to coach them through it. Like, some days they might be real down, like, you know what I mean? And you just got to talk to them. Sometimes you got to talk them off the ledge. Like,
is that something you see a lot?
I want to, it depends, because everybody's different. You know what I'm saying? So they go through their periods.
I feel the same way about engineers. So it's interesting you said that because, and I know you get this. It's like
Lead it in.
we're literally the therapist for. I mean, a lot of
Engineers
the guys
don't
we
get
work
all
with-
the credit that they listen.
Thank
To
you.
me, they're the most
Let's
vital
talk about it.
instrumental people in this. They make the world go round, and
So-
people not putting enough respect on it.
Yeah, put the respect
Appreciate
on the
it.
name.
Yeah,
man.
nah,
Appreciate it.
listen, I love the engineers. Shout out all my engineers. I ain't gonna call y'all by name, but I know I love y'all dearly.
You already
Because
know.
an engineer can help an A&R
Yeah.
a lot.
Of course.
Like I've seen-
We're,
I've
so I
seen-
know kids is the greatest A&Rs, but engineers.
Engineer, them too.
Come on.
You know how much sessions I be in, and the engineers be like, "Yo, so and so gave me a pack," and it'd be some
Exactly.
fire. You know why? Because the engineers know that they probably like the next in command. Like,
There
you
it
know,
is.
people look for them to get them shit.
Exactly.
But
And
it's
it's,
not
and
us,
it's a lot of our artists don't know how to communicate to a therapist or
Mm-hmm.
go and get certain type of help. If you're not
the
available to get in the
community.
rooms, the
Black
community,
music.
the community. But I'm saying for the artists, right? Them getting in that studio,
Yeah,
you're helping them get a lot of shit off their chest.
yeah.
Yeah,
The
that's what I was
sanctuary-
gonna
you
say.
being available
The
to them.
music, the role
music is
that
therapeutic
music
within
has
itself.
played in the black community is a therapeutic role.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And that's why we go to the it all coincides. You go to the club on the weekends, you go to work all week, you go to the club on the weekends. You know what I mean? You spend your money in the club. That artist who is blowing up in their neighborhood, he's thriving off of you guys going to the club, spending your money on them bottles and putting up so he could make his living. You know what I mean? So it's that form with the music being the therapy. A lot of artists tend to think because we're just coming up on the therapy revolution. Like, we're in the middle of it. Everybody's mental health. But a lot of the artists, their therapy is recording. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
exactly.
So what further therapy do you have to add at being an A&R?
I think it just just having real like good life skills, bro. Like, me personally, it's different for me because you can ask another A&R and get a totally different answer. Because 9 out of 10, everything that they went through or everything that they're gonna go through, and I've been through it, so I could share life experiences with them on a different level. You know what I mean? Like, certain things that they could tell me, somebody else wouldn't understand.
Yeah, and I think that goes to my point of not every A&R can relate to that because it's A&Rs that literally are in it for, we could say, you know, we can't really, I don't want to judge people like what's their motives and whatever, but it's people that's not in tune.
Right. I'll
And
give
they
an example,
don't
right?
respect.
And I'm just making this up, right?
Yeah,
Now let's say I got an artist, right? And he's waiting on the load to come in.
yeah,
And the load gets intercepted or some shit like
Yeah.
that. He don't want to record for a month,
right.
right? Because he's hurting. They might have lost out on hundreds of thousands of dollars type
Yeah.
shit. They're not gonna understand that for real. Like,
Yeah.
I know how you feel. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? What I could do is just try to get his head back in the game.
Yeah,
You know?
So a lot of times with the music, with hip hop, rap, our music coincides. It usually speaks for the streets. It speaks for our neighborhoods. Black music, like we just spoke about. So, how do you approach running into a situation where you find an artist, you know that they're going to be successful in the next 3 years of you working with them, but they popping in, they hot in the streets, like they get money in the streets. So now they have to make a decision.
And they have problems.
Like they have to go to the studio versus going to the trap.
It happens. Listen, you ask any A&R that got a real street artist, they go through that shit all the time. You know what I'm saying? So And you really can't turn that off because this is their livelihood. Money might not be coming in right now from music.
Yeah.
So they're gonna do what they gotta do. Like, you know.
I don't know if it's explainable, but if it is, how do you approach something like that?
Me personally, I just be like, listen, my nigga, like, yo, this only ends two ways. Even as cliche as it sounds, right?
Yeah.
Nigga, you're gonna take it from me because I've been there.
You've been on both
It be
sides.
days I be in the office and the homie might get smoked or some shit. I still gotta hold it together. I still go through it. You feel me? So like, and I showed them.
Yeah.
Like one day I show one of the little homies, right? Like I'm in the office. I'm talking. We just came out of meeting. I'm talking to Mike and all of them. And in my mind, like I'm scrolling on my phone or say cheese. I just see one of the homies get their shit blown off by the police. They made it to say cheese type shit. And so now I show the artist. I'm like, yo, I deal with it too. You feel me? But I still get up and come to work and perform, bro.
So take it back to the title, Hidden Hands. So your lifestyle that you were raised in kind of is a hidden hand for your career.
Yeah. Nah, cause listen, to this day, right? Certain things, it don't go away. Like I tried to go to Canada a couple months ago, got rejected at the border. So like things always come back, or a case from
It's a reminder to
right.
let
No,
you know.
it happens to me all the time. Like right, so a case from 10 years ago that don't got nothing to do with me, I got subpoenaed to come to court type shit. Some real shit though. Like and these type of things happen all the time to remind me, like yo, I'll never forget where I come from or who I am. Like just cause of shit like that, it's always gonna have a hold on me. I'm restricted from doing a lot of shit.
Right.
Even though I completely did a 360.
Right.
With all the blessings you have, do you try to pay it forward?
Of course.
All the time.
Of course. Every time. Every chance I get. You know what I'm saying? And most of the time I just be talking to people.
Hey, did you ever get imposter syndrome when you were first? Did you ever get imposter syndrome? Like feel like why me, or you knew it, you could stand it?
Nah, you know why? I just always felt like I was a chosen one, bro. Just from my personal relationship with God, bro. To be honest.
One of the feedbacks I got recently from somebody, one of my OGs was like, man, you gotta just pray.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta pray, like whatever.
Got to. I don't miss that, bro.
Whatever's your religion, whatever you,
Yeah.
you know, like you gotta pray. You gotta stay centered.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because it's
I
really
encourage that a lot, like not to get, you know.
Yeah.
But whoever your high power is or whatever the case is, like, nah, we could do it, bro. We could do it.
Let's go, because being in the music industry, like my pops used to worry about me doing this music shit, and I used to always be like, I don't work for them, I work for God.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because when they done rocking with me, the next day, these niggas be here. You know what I'm saying? Like, they be like, you go here and then, oh, well, I'm back in a situation.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because we all have been let go or moved on, or the situation moved on from us. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it just comes back. It's like it's something that's just, you know what I mean? It's got to be spiritual. It's got to be something that is out of our control.
Nah, for sure.
You know
That's
Stay grounded though, like I promise.
I'm telling you.
So how do you feel about the AI technology that's coming out? Like, you care about that? Or?
I don't care for it, but I'm not oblivious to it. Like it's coming.
You think it's gonna take over? Like,
It's possible. It might take a lot of people's jobs.
It's gonna take a lot. You think so?
I don't know yet. I can't say. Possibly.
You think it's gonna be AI producers and shit?
It already is.
AI artists?
They tried.
They tried with that
They
one.
tried. It might be
It's
another
probably
one.
more though.
Pretty
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
They probably developing one right now.
Yeah.
Now, Mike, he got an interesting take on AI, because I heard that in the meetings he'll be making AI beats just to fuck around and just to show how easy it is.
And that's what I'm saying. It's real.
Yeah.
It's a real thing. I don't think it'll never replace the producers. Like, nah.
Right.
No, we hands on. Like, creative vibe.
Right.
Outside of music, what you like to do for your free time, man? What's two things you like to do? Just you got nothing to do with nothing.
A lot of times, you know what? I'll go out the country on my own just to get a clear headspace.
So you like to travel?
I like to travel, but my other thing is basketball.
Basketball.
I'm a nigga.
You hoop.
Nah, I can't. I'm not a hooper.
You just like
the basketball.
But
you can hoop a little bit. Because when a nigga say they not a
When I was
hooper,
younger, you know, New York niggas, we say we can't hoop, but we can hoop.
who got the best hoopers to you?
New
What
York.
city in the United States?
New York.
Chicago. I'm going with Chicago.
You know what? You know why I won't argue that? Because a lot of niggas came from Chicago.
Yeah, Chicago got the best hoopers to me.
Yeah.
But that's
You
all we
supposed to
did was
feel
play
like that,
ball.
though. You supposed to
That's
feel
all we
like
did
that.
was play ball. I'm sure all y'all did was play ball too,
Yeah.
huh?
We play
In New
ball
York?
and we play ball. We shoot guns and we sell crack. Yeah.
Like, yeah, y'all was in the city. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
Are you into wrestling? I seen you.
When I was
retweeted some
younger, I know a lot about old wrestling.
shit. Okay. Because I was gonna ask you.
Let's run it. Let's see.
run it.
Okay,
Y'all watch wrestling? Y'all fuck with wrestling?
Yeah. Who was your favorite wrestler?
When I was younger,
Yeah.
Ric Flair.
Yeah, I know. That's why I was wondering. Why you? Okay. That was one of my questions too.
Like,
yeah. Okay.
What was it?
WCW versus WWF.
Yeah, right.
Huh?
WCW or WWF?
WWF.
There it is.
Not WWE, WWF.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I never saw WWE either. I was grown by the time that shit came out.
Y'all didn't fuck with Undertaker?
Of course, I used to love that.
Listen.
But then they made
Stone
it too
Cold.
animated, bro. Niggas started riding motorcycles and all that. Like, man.
When he was like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
name one glow story better than The Rock, though. That nigga went far.
Nah,
he the GOAT.
Nah, he legend. It's something about that though. When the Undertaker shit went out, when the lights hit,
yeah,
he turned the lights off and the whole shit.
Yeah, my boy just popped up out of nowhere.
Come on, man. Yeah. It was different.
Top five rapper.
Wow, man.
Simple.
You gonna need more than a minute.
He said simple.
Wait, you gonna need more than a minute, right?
Top five rappers. Top five rappers. Come on.
You know why?
I know you like Jay-Z and Nas.
See,
or you wanted to?
We could do more than a minute, right?
Yeah. Let's do more than a minute. Let's run it.
It's gonna
it's
stop.
Gonna be hard.
Just run it.
It's gonna stop. Nah, give us the five.
If I had to choose today, my shit change every day, but it depends on how I'm feeling, right? So I'm gonna go. Today I'm gonna go big.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, Nas, Big, Pop, Jay. I want to put somebody from the new school in. Drake.
Okay,
that's solid.
Okay,
that's solid.
All right.
Yeah. See, it wasn't that hard.
Nah. Listen, if you would have gave me more time, my shit would have been totally.
It would have went different.
Okay, give me more time. Won't even be in there. Give me the more time one.
Are we doing this like bar for bar or projects? Like you got to specify.
It's got to be overall to me.
It's
got to be overall.
Me, if we say like my favorite lyricist, then it's gonna be like Jada, but then like his project, so I can't put him in there. You know?
Right.
All right, last one. It might be cliche too, but what's the best rap album ever made to you since you a hip hop head?
Life After Death.
Life After Death.
Okay.
You wanna know why?
Why?
Because one, the man was 23, 24 recording it, and then 24 songs, double CD. He gave you every feeling that a nigga from the street could possibly go through. He let it all out.
On that album.
I respect it.
Yeah, I fuck with that.
That's my shit.
Yeah.
That's your favorite album of all time too? Or that's your favorite album of all time?
Life After Death.
Yeah.
That shit was
Life
different.
After Death, Machiavelli, and it was written.
Okay. That's
you,
hard.
You put Nas before Jay or Jay before Nas?
I ain't really fuck with Jay growing up. I was always a Nas nigga.
Mm.
Yeah. I love Jay though, but he not Nas. Like
best Bronx rapper.
Oh
Pun.
shit. You got
Pun.
Yo.
Okay.
Why you gonna say KRS-One? I don't know.
Nah. I ain't gonna lie. I just say Pun. I say Pun. I definitely say Pun.
Speak on kind of like your Nip stories, or
let's do it. So check it. We gotta go back to when I was in prison, right? I remember seeing him in the XXL. Remember I tell you I used to get the subscriptions?
Yeah.
And I saw a nigga. I always loved West Coast music.
He was a freshman, wasn't he?
I think this was before he was a freshman though. Like, I just saw a picture of a nigga, and when I saw the picture of him, I'm like, this nigga better be dope. But I could have had no access to no music.
Oh shit.
You feel me? So like when I got to work release, I had this girl. They gave me this job, like a telemarketing joint, right? And I gave a girl like a blank CD. I gave her bread to buy me some blank CDs. And I like just fill it up with Nipsey Hussle type shit. And when she brought it back, it was like Bullets Ain't Got a Name. There was some shit on there. And ever since then, like I was locked in. So by the time I actually got out, it was like marathon time. It's like when he got out to deal with Epic, right? It was Epic that he was with. But I hooked ever since. Like I fuck with him. I came all the way to go to the funeral and all that.
Crazy.
How did his death affect you?
You know what? I feel like just the things that he spoke on. Now, remember I'm telling y'all like I'm a Nas nigga over Jay nigga. Just the things that he stood for and the things that he spoke about. Like he's like a nigga like me mentally. Like you know what I'm saying. So like it fucked me up in a different kind of way because the way it resonated. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't believe it. Like I remember where I was at and all that when they said he got shot. I'm like,
unbelievable.
Crazy, bro.
Yeah, it was unbelievable.
That one fucked me up more than Big and Pop.
Yeah. I was actually on a flight, and when I took off, it was like the news, like he got hit. When I landed, I found out he died.
Yeah.
I was fucked up, bro.
Yeah.
Really, I dropped a few tears for him. It was because like literally we were in the process of figuring something out. Like we had records and
man, Nas, a whole community, bro. He took a blow. hip hop.
Everybody,
bro.
everybody.
With that being said, that we took a blow, and you being an A&R and working close with the artists that you work with, how do you approach that, knowing how many rappers are passing away and stuff like that?
What you mean, just by telling them be careful?
Does it change your advice, or do you give advice in that area, or did it affect how you approach dealing with artists?
It's hard to tell somebody how to move and what to do, but I'll still say it.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying? But
it's heard.
All I could try to do is just try to tell you how to maneuver, but I can't tell you how to maneuver in your situation. You outside in a different time and climate than when I was, but I try my best to try to tell them. But it's cliche when you say it.
Couldn't nobody tell you shit until you had to learn it.
I had to learn how I learned it.
I think honestly, one thing that you do really well, like, your guys stay active.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, his music coming out every week. I feel like his new shit coming out. Like, you keeping them busy.
Listen, we ain't even hit a year yet. The Anti on Project 5.
Crazy.
You feel me?
I see how you keep them active. You keep them in the studio. Like, projects always coming out. Every time I turn around, they're in a different city working on music. And I think that's, commendable, because a lot of people, they get comfortable. You know what I mean? And I feel like you on your job, just keeping them where they need to be. Keep them in the studio.
I think it comes from like just gut. Like with me, I'm gonna fuck with the shit that feels cultural anyway, but it just naturally happens to where everybody gravitates towards my artists and shit.
Yeah.
If you go back to be a rapper, what you gonna get first?
Do I have motion yet?
You have barely any. It's a little bit. Like,
your neighborhood,
your street, your block been saying you can rap. Everybody around you been saying you can rap. But you ain't.
Then I need fans first.
What would you get?
I need fans. I need fans, because if I have motion, then I know I need an attorney first.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But I need fans.
You need fans first.
Yeah.
So how about this, right? So what I was getting to, I want to know your take on as artists. Let's say you got a lot of motion, you building a brand, people know you, you stream well, and you got like homie management. So when you get opportunity to do certain situations, you got people in your corner that don't know the business, that don't know how to handle themselves. They're not professional.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What is that fine line of like, you trying to put your people in position, but they kind of in the way?
What I would do, because we talking about me and like my homies, my homies is good people. You know what I mean? So I want to cut them out the equation.
Right.
You be my road manager till you learn, and we bring somebody on board that's going to mentor you and teach you as we go, and then you could take over.
Right. But as far as like handling your negotiation, you wouldn't let your homies just negotiate your business.
Not on top unless they know what they're doing.
Right.
But if you got a decent attorney, then it's possible, because I'm gonna be hands on too.
Okay.
It's my business at the end of the day.
So you would lean more on the lawyer.
Yeah.
And just kind of.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
One last one. This one's a little mixy.
Okay.
It's a little different.
Okay. Let's go.
All right. So you tweeted out, these producers and writers don't be understanding the assignment for real.
Right.
What you mean by that?
All right. I don't care. Niggas can get mad too.
No, it's
right?
No, we ain't naming nobody.
No. I know.
Yeah,
I
hit
know.
dog
They
holler.
gonna know. If they see this, they gonna
Hit
know.
dog holler, though.
Because like every so often, let's say Anti come to town or Cootie come to town, I'll make a post and I'll be like, all right, load me up. But I'm only talking to like the people I fuck with. You had to see it before.
Yeah, for
right?
sure. For sure. We talk
and
about
they
that.
know what I need,
Yeah.
and they'll send me something that don't work for these niggas. Like, and I'll get a whole bunch. Now y'all wasting my time.
Yeah.
I listen to so much. Like, I listen to everything that come through.
Right.
That's one thing about me. Like, another A&R be like, yo, send some shit, and they won't listen to the shit for real. Like me, now I'm listening to it. I'm making priority packs, a B-level pack, a C-level pack, and a lot of the time, you motherfuckers waste my time.
Listen.
Don't do that to me. Like, yeah, for real.
Yo, man. Can you listen? Give me a close-up on this edit. On this edit, give me a close-up.
Get them.
Piggyback off of this. I get a lot of emotion around Cruz don't play my music. Cruz don't do this. Cruz don't do that. I don't control the quality of shit that come in. I give opportunity to people. I take time out of my day to curate shit for the artists I'm working with, knowing what they're on. I try my best to communicate that. Better than me how artists are about what their vibe is for the day. That shit changes a lot, right?
Yep.
So stop being emotional. Keep rocking, keep working, because you burn a bridge so fast being emotional, thinking that people aren't fucking with you. But I'm the type of person, if I tell you it's being played, it's being played.
Same.
You understand? And at the same time, when I hear it in different circles where however it happens, word gets out like, yo, I'm trying to get the cuz, you know, but I'm giving the shit to Cruz, but it ain't.
Yeah.
It's because it ain't it.
That's it.
That's
That shit is nothing to be in the
Bottom
feelings
line,
about.
And it's nothing to be emotional about. It's nothing to have
Shoot
an
some more
issue with.
shots. Go back to the gym.
Keep shooting your shot. Stop being emotional and stop blaming it on the wrong people.
Yeah.
The people that's really trying to help you, you shouldn't blame it on them, bro. Keep working, keep trying. We locked in.
Listen, if you got his contact, you got it for a reason.
Yeah, and it's a little deeper than it ain't it. It's a lot of times the way the creative process works. You're not leaving room for that, the creativity. Right. So you may send something that the artist ain't on no more. Yeah. They're gone. They did that on their last album, and you're still trying to give them the hits from the last album, right. And it's like they moved on. So it's a real interesting place because you have to understand that these artists are people who are coming from the house to go to the studio, so they're dealing with day-to-day stuff,
right?
And they're in a mood, and that's driving their creativity, that mood. So it could be the best beat ever. The best example is the Jay-Z doc. Watch what's the
Fade to Black.
Fade to Black. On Fade to Black, Jay passed on beats from Timberland that we heard hits come out later from Ludacris and so many other people, because it's just like it depends on so many factors lining up. You know what I mean? The mood, the creativity, the person, how they're feeling, how it sounds, where they're trying to go, where they see themselves trying to go, what's really going on. It's a lot that plays into it. It's so much more that plays into it versus you just giving your music to the person's engineer and then being like, the engineer's going to play it for him.
Keep shooting. Keep shooting. You know? Keep shooting. Something's going to connect.
You know
if
what?
You're taking it serious, you got to adjust to what it is. If you really trying to get a Meek Mill record, you're trying to get a Rod Wave record, you're trying to get an Anti record, you have to respect that these people got their own vibe. You don't know everything because you're basing it off of the vibe of the artist.
Right.
That shit changes with
I'll
the
give you an
weather.
example. I might leave here and go to the studio with Anti, right? And I'm going to go with, I like him hard. So I'm going to play some hard shit. And he liable to sit down on the chair and be like, yo, Rique, play me some melodic shit.
Let me do some auto-tune.
Feel me?
Put the auto-tune on.
Yeah.
But
you know
back to what Cruz was saying, right? Y'all know who's the all-time leader in missed shots in the NBA?
LeBron.
I'm guessing Curry.
Kobe.
Oh, Kobe.
Oh, all time. Okay,
Yeah.
all time.
I thought it was
This
LeBron.
is something that Mike says all the time. I think it's Kobe.
Oh, it was the whole shit. Yeah,
Kobe.
I think it's Kobe, Mike, and LeBron though.
No,
but
Mike is up there. He's like number 5, I think.
Right,
He's
in the top 5.
I seen that post.
But when you really think about it though,
they
took the most shots and they accomplished though.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Nobody don't remember all the shots that they missed.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, we remember the ones that went in.
Right.
Exactly.
We damn sure remember that.
In the chips.
Yeah.
It's just different, bro.
Definitely. How you feel about production and where it's at right now, music production?
It's creative. I can't be mad at it.
You can't be mad.
I can't be mad at it. I ain't gonna say I love it because I'm from the golden era.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of times.
But I would never want to be the old nigga that shit on their shit. Like it's some hard shit though.
Some hard shit out here. It's hard shit.
I feel like the foresight. I feel like the foresight is missing.
Mm-hmm.
When I say the foresight, I mean a producer sitting in their house and saying, "Man, this is where Trippie Redd needs to go next," and then making that record that this is where he goes next in his career, seeing his storyline, seeing where he's going as an artist, and then making that next notch in the storyline. You know what I mean? I don't think
that's why projects ain't projects no more, and they got a short lifespan.
Yeah, a lot of shit sound the same. A lot of people send. You know, one of the issues I have and the reason I have to curate a pack is because I could send 1,000 beats and look good. Like, yo, I sent you 1,000 pack.
Right.
But it's like, are you really gonna waste somebody's time when you could go through and chop off?
Because sometimes that stifles
of them beats and give them 100 instead of 1,000.
A lot of times that stifles creativity. I've been in sessions with artists and the label will send 10 producers throughout the whole session and they'll play beats, and when everybody's done playing beats, the artist will just grab their head like, I don't know what to do because you just been banging them with beats over their head for the past 2 hours.
That's the art of
I've watched somebody go.
This is what I love though, because that's a good problem.
Yeah. I've watched somebody go.
And me, hold up. And me, I'm one of them A&Rs. Like I'm gonna come. I might have concepts. I might have lines for you. I might have a hook. Like you feel me?
There you go. There you go.
Different. Like
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's not the toot my own horn, but more helpful than most.
Yeah. You tapped in.
You
tapped in. You care.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of these guys is out here for show. They just want to be like, yo, I'm in the room, I'm working. And then, you know, in the next 10 minutes, they'd be like, yo, good. I dropped a few packs to the engineer and I leave.
I didn't want to say it, but he said it for me.
No, it's real. It's real.
So
I've
listen,
seen
let me
it
tell
on
you the
both
type
sides.
of A&R I am, right? Because you know you got different types of A&Rs. You
Yeah.
got some that's good with relationships, some that know how to talk, some that's good with research and analytics.
Mm-hmm.
I might be there an hour before the session, pre-gaming with the engineer, just in case I got to go out the room and take a meeting or something.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I need, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then after the session, we gonna be there cleaning up the records and making it, fine-tuning it.
Where we at with it.
But during the session, like I'm there, I'm present the whole time. Don't matter. Most of my sessions when I'm at home, they end 3, 4 in the morning. I'm right back in the office, 9:30, 10 o'clock type shit. We do it again.
Right.
I love it though. I'm a gym rat.
Yeah. Nah, I respect that. And you don't, I mean, you know, you don't got to be every single session because you got to go chase records too at the same time as while they're creating, you know. But it's just caring about it to that level of like, yo, I'm curating the vibe. You know what I mean? I'm keeping you on point.
Yeah.
I'm seeing what's going on. I'm understanding like what you're looking for and what I could do to help get you to that point. And you know what I mean? And then also just kind of schooling you on like, all right, I see what you're saying, but you know,
try this.
Challenge them.
Yeah,
you know what I
for
mean?
sure.
Challenge them.
For sure.
Yeah.
And like me, I don't believe in bumping heads, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's 3 ways: the artist way, my way, and the right way. We gonna try everything, and we can pull off on it however it's gonna work, as long as we get the right way. You know what I'm saying? That's it.
Definitely.
We ain't gonna hold you no much longer, man, because we could do this all day. So,
Right.
what
Listen.
you got anything like coming up or anything you want to shout out or
Yeah.
anything in the pipeline?
The next project I got coming is Anton We Too Hard, Block Boys Volume 1, drops next Friday. Cootie, we got that Superfly remix. I can't say who's on it yet, but it's a big one. And a lot of shit on the Fast and Furious 10 soundtrack.
I just want to, you know, thank our guy Rique for coming through and, you know, and blessing us for the first show.
Pleasure.
You know what I mean?
Appreciate you.
My guy. Appreciate you.
Hopefully, we gave a lot of information out.
Yeah.
And
Definitely.
dropped a lot of gems.
Definitely.
So.
Yeah, stay tuned in. You know, we're going to keep this going. We'd love some feedback from the audience. You know, stay tuned in to tomorrow. Thank you to Cannon and the family. This is Hidden Hands, man.